I suspect this is going to be another Fixed or Phuxxed. Or maybe it's an unboxing. Or maybe it's an unboxing of a Fixed or Phuxxed. It's a thing in a box. I'm only expecting one thing in a box. This is the only box that has arrived. Therefore, this should be the box I expect. I've got to unwrap it. It's not only unboxing, it's an unwrapping. It's just like Christmas. I get to tear through quite well done paper to reveal a, no doubt, very disappointing and probably broken thing inside. Ah, such a happy time. Right. Tearing the paper off. Apparently I should apologise to headphone users, but for the tearing sounds. Yeah, nobody watches this anyway, so what are the statistical chances of the nobody that watches these things wearing headphones? Slim, I would say. Oh, it's an Amazon Box G10. Yeah, I don't know why it's in an Amazon box. And if this is what I'm thinking it is, this isn't carpet. Somebody said your carpet's not very sparkly. I thought, for one thing, it's a tablecloth, and for another thing, it's not a tablecloth, it's velvet. And for another thing, it is a little bit sparkly. If this is what I think it is, I'm really not happy that it's in Amazon's unfinest, flimsy, lightweight box. But maybe it isn't what I think it is. Maybe this is Amazon surprising me. It's not going to be Amazon surprising me. Well, it would surprise me if Amazon delivered something actually decent and not broken. So I suspect that this fails on all counts. How much? Oh Christ. One of the reasons I'm actually unboxing the what I believe to be a Fixed or Phuxxed is because I bought a broken TV to do a Fixed or Phuxxed a while ago from eBay. This was eBay as well, by the way. And I bought it and it turned up rather inadequately packaged. And the faulty backlight was rather made moot by the smashed screen. And I couldn't really do a lot about it because the seller then went on holiday and I didn't get back to them in time, and I'd taken a video where I wasn't complimentary about the packaging, and I thought I have to try to be nice to this person, and it just, yeah, lost. Everything was lost. So, I am dreading how this is going to come out, honestly, given how it's been packaged. I have paper, the guinea pig will be happy. I have a remote control. Devoid of batteries. How you can get, is it 12 I believe at the moment, 12 AAA batteries for £1 at Poundland. This takes 2, so what's a sixth of a battery? About 16p. You're so tight, and the batteries would have been 1, so maybe 8 pence. You've taken 8 pence worth of batteries out of the remote. Brilliant. Yeah, this is going to be what I think it is. This is looking like being what I think it is. And this was described as, has a bit of a red shadow over a bit of the screen and behaves strangely off the remote, apparently doing the volume causes it to turn off. I don't know how, possibly by magic. It's all a bit like Big. I used the remote and it spat out a card and I woke up the next day to be Tom Hanks. Yeah, well, I was going to say I'm not optimistic, I'm not hopeful, but it's not smashed. It might have survived. It will be bordering on the miraculous if it has survived. There you go. That's it out of its box. Next up is me plugging it in. Well, I'm going to put the stand on and plug it in off camera to save the faff around time, and then I'll be back. I may have just smashed it because the stand is some stupid squeeze it in clicky thing and you have to really, really squeeze and something went crunch, and so it may already be Phuxxed. It may indeed not be fixed. This is the first turny-onny of this TV. That click was the socket. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Is that a button? Is that it? Oh, something's happened. Oh, maybe. Aha! Well, it's red shadow. I was expecting a red shadow. And I thought, red shadow, maybe it's an LED burning up. That is unusual. And concerning. And apparently barely visible. That's not at all visible when the autofocus. Focus! Autofocus. Whoop. Regarde le TVA. Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, right. Ignoring that not working, Oh no, there you go. It's finally, the camera's decided to work. Even if the TV hasn't. I wonder if maybe this is going to need a new panel. I don't know. I'm still learning TV repair. That's one of the reasons I'm getting so many TVs and then doing videos on them. Let's drop some batteries in the remote. I forgot to do that. Okay, so it's on and it's saying no signal, which is indeed true. There is no signal. Setup. Okay, so that red is really annoying. What would be causing that red? The red shadowing that's barely noticeable is very noticeable. Just going to say that. Volume. Right, apparently volume makes it turn off. No. I'm pushing it. Yeah, you can see the blink. I can't see the blinky because it's infrared, but the camera can see the blinky, so you can see the blinky. And you can't see the focus. What the hell is wrong? Technology truly hates me today. Right, so apparently doing the volume lot causes it to turn off. I'm not doing volume, as you can tell. I'm just doing that, and it isn't turning off. Okay. And what if I just do volume a lot? Does that make it turn off? I was led to believe that this had a fault with the remote control, causing it to turn off when you used a button repeatedly or rapidly, I think the description said. No. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. That's fine. I'm now going to... I love the way it is refusing to focus. Oh, did I say love? No. Okay, well, the remote part works fine. The screen part doesn't. I'm taking too long trying to fill dead air, just pushing buttons. So, next time you see this, it will be to do with trying to figure out this. Well, that was fun, said nobody ever that's actually done this. Yeah, getting the back off this, which I have now put somewhere. I've put it here. Taking the back off this, I initially thought, well, maybe these are tamper-proof screw covers. You kind of assume it's going to be screwed together, right? You'd be wrong. Yes, never assume it makes an ass out of anybody that tries to take the back off a Philips TV. It's all click. It's all clicky things, and I had to use spudger, spludger, splatter, bodger, badger, I don't know what you call these things, but I had to use one of these, which caused some scuffing and scratching down the sides, but I'm hoping to keep this one for me anyway, so it doesn't really matter. What does matter is it was an absolute nightmare to do, and some of the clips broke, and just horrible, just absolutely horrible. Anyway, and breathe, because the back is off. What I'm now going to do is I want to see whether that red glare down the side, I want to see if that's related to the picture it's being sent, or the LED backlight, or something else. My guess is the backlight. But I am not a TV repair expert. In fact, I'm not an expert in anything. So, I'm disconnecting the picture cable. The picture cable disconnected means that no signal will go from here to here. If no signal is going from here to here, then this shouldn't try to put a signal onto the screen, i.e. no picture. If there's no picture, and there's no glow, then the problem is in it trying to put out a picture. If there's no picture, and there's still that kind of red blah, then I have no words today. Then the problem is hopefully the backlight. That's what I'm... Although God knows how I take it apart to get to that. Just getting the back off took me an hour. It's just crazy. So, with that disconnected and power... Oh yes, YouTube mandatory safety warning. This shit, kind of big, sparky, bangy death if you touch it while it's plugged in. I am not an expert, but I am an idiot. Do not do what I am doing, just at all, unless you really know what you're doing, and maybe you shouldn't. I don't know if YouTube will tell me off for that. I also, this whole thing it's so flimsy and flexy. This is the most cheaply made piece of crap I've ever seen. But hopefully it'll be a working TV. It's just, build quality. Look at it's terrible. It flexes. Right. You might not be able to see that, because what we're looking for is the red band down the side. But in a certain light, I definitely saw it when this was just powering up. I'm not seeing it now, or am I? No, there it is. Oh, how do I show that? I can't. I can see it. If I, there, you might just be able to make out down there. I can see it, but it didn't seem to be instant. It was as though it took just a moment of warming up before it came through. Really hoping this is an LED, but I'm going to have to take this apart much more, which if it takes an hour to take the back off, means it could be a year to take the sides and the bezel in the front. But I'm going to have to take this apart it's coming through more clearly now. Much more to get to that. So hopefully the next time you see this is when all of this is out the way and it's just the LEDs. Well, giving up on this one, because I can't even get into the bloody thing. It's... oh yeah, I managed to get the metal piece. This off the top. It's glued. Everything is glued. There's a clicky back, no screws, nightmare to get off. You get into it, everything is taped or glued. I think the LEDs are running across the bottom anyway, so whatever's going on the side, maybe it is just a panel fault. But I'm never going to find out because I'm just going to end up smashing the thing trying to get into it. So I'm going to put it back together as best I can, and I'm just going to hope it's not even worse. In case you didn't believe me about everything being taped together, it really is, oh god, this is such a piece of shit. I don't record when I'm because it can take a long time and just fast forwarding and finding music to put behind it. I'm like, no, I'll just cut these bits out. I don't normally record the sort of dismantling and reassembly in every detail. But if I had have recorded this one, you'd have learned some new words. This is so ridiculously, unbelievably cheap, flimsy shit. As I will say, if I ever get the back on it, which is quite a challenge because trying to align it all when it's just fucking taped in. Oh my Christ. Anyway, I'm going to try to get the back on, and I'm going to see if it still works as badly as it did, and we'll come back to it. Well, that's the crap basket put back together. My God. I'm going to flick the power on to see if it blows up. It did electrocute my finger. I always talk about look out, sparky, boomy, burn death whenever I'm pointing at the high voltage or low voltage, whenever I'm pointing at the power boards of these things. I'm trying to put the bloody thing back together somehow, the fiddliness and tape and titting about with it. I must have got my finger across a capacitor or something, and I got a delightful tingle that is still tingling. So, just to show, this shit can be dangerous, and do not do what I do. Especially don't buy pieces of shit like this. Dear Christ, honestly, Philips used to have this reputation. Wasn't one of their taglines or Philips invents? Well, maybe they do invent, and maybe that's what they're good at, but they're really crap at making. You cannot service this thing. You stand a high chance of destroying it, just taking the back off to replace the only replaceable parts. You've not got a hope in hell of getting to the LEDs without something smashing. I just gave up. They weren't where I thought they would be, and it's probably not an LED fault anyway, but if you have to do the LEDs on one of these, it's going in the bin. You can't. It is so bad. Words fail me. Words fail me. Let me see if it still powers up. But what a utter arse of a thing. Unbelievable. The camera, I'm understanding why the camera doesn't like to focus anymore. It just doesn't want to look at it. Is it powering up? Have I killed it? Did my finger shorting across the power board kill it? I don't know. Do I need to use the remote? I was testing an Amazon stick on... Oh shit, it still works. But on the bright side, the idea behind this... Have I actually made that worse? I'm not sure. Come on. Like I say, the camera hates it. It's so terrible. Come on, notice. Come on, focus. Oh my god. Yeah, I really can't recommend these at all. It is so terrible. The stand. The stand is this push-fit thing. Oh no, I probably best not disturb it. The stand is a push-fit thing that goes in at the bottom. The stand is cheap. Everything about this is cheap. If this thing is... I think I paid 20 for it. And I'm hoping... well, the claim was that in use you don't notice the glare, and the big problem was the remote control, it turns off if you do buttons quickly, which... seems to work. So maybe it was just the batteries in the remote originally. But it is just so shit. Honestly, I'm happy enough with it because it's basically a backup screen. I want something in the kitchen because I want to learn to cook, and you might have the joys of watching me. It's going to be a Phuxxed or Phuxxed, probably, me learning how to cook. So something I can just watch recipes and stuff on, and, you know, when it gets covered in bolognese that's had some sort of explosion and it dies, I will celebrate. But, yeah, anybody watching this thinking, hey, I want to dick about buying broken stuff and fixing it, for God's sake, don't buy one of these. Honestly, I don't know how much more I can say it. I'm just trying to save you from yourselves, and more than that, I'm trying to save you from Philips. It is fuck awful. So, yeah, we're onto the realm of celebration or consolation, and, you know, so far as fixed or fuxed goes, who gives a fucks? And another thing, I know I keep trying to get away from this, but it's so terrible. I'm going to say, yeah, you don't notice the red quite as badly, depends on the colouring, so maybe it is a panel fault. I'll live with it, I don't really care. But the other thing, and dear God, I've had the rum. I can't even have another one to drown this out. This is a slimline panel, right? I mean, it's edge lit. The whole thing about this, the screen itself is like that thick. So the whole thing could be all of 2 centimetres thick. It's a little bit thicker because, hey, we have to put the speakers in such a way that bulks it out. Sod that. It's slimline, right? It's slimline. So, the reason this is on with a stick in it... Oh yeah, how slim is that? We're going to make a slimline panel, but we're going to have the power cable stick straight out. The Samsung brings it down, you see, keeps it slim. And we're going to put the HDMI port sticking straight out. Nothing, there is nothing redeems this piece of crap. Unless this was £3.50 in the middle of Lidl when it was new. This TV has no redeemable features, and all I can do is feel deep, deep pity for the person that originally bought this new.